to us a little about like what does a black man reading mean to you, or like where kind of sparked the idea?
Oh yeah. Haters. As always. I mean, I every community I've ever built was is a testament to my haters. I mean, literally. And I don't mean like extreme haters, but like folks who just don't know good stuff. It just irks me, right? So like when I used to write about hip hop on this blog that I had created called Woulda Since 1987.com. And I also was writing for the redefined.com as well about hip hop. But the reason I started writing about hip hop is because, I'm in the South. So if it's not Lil Boosie or Lil Wayne, it's nothingness to folks down here. And I'm talking about like
Yeah.
the general consensus is if it's not like those types of folks, then it means nothing. And so when I'm talking about like Jay-Z, Lupe Fiasco, and I'm excited about Kanye West, I am lonely as hell
Mm.
because no one down here, I mean, aside from the few folks that are interested in that type of rap, there's no one for me to talk to. You know what I mean? So I was like, let me see if I can go online and reach out and be able to, know and meet these people. And so I built that community. So when I started reading, I was in the bank. I was still working as a banker. And, I always think about it like this. I was giving people who already had money more money, and I was telling people who needed money that they couldn't get it. And I was trying to kind of figure out what the breakdown was. And I was like, well, I need to return back to my love for reading. So I started posting books, right? And my folks was like, oh, you must have homework. Why are you posting those books on your page? This is my personal page. I'm getting 2 likes, 3 likes. And I'm like, oh, okay. I see what this is. All right. All right. So I am going to jokingly go and create a new community. And I'm just going to name it simply A Black Man Reading because I'm a black man and I'm reading. Like, this is what it looks like. I don't have homework. I don't have anything due. I'm not studying for a test. I just like reading. And it's going to look exactly like what it's going to look like all the things that I like so that it is both accessible to me, but any other black man. Because however a black man shows up is what a black man reading looks like. Right. So if you are somebody who likes, kind of dressing and you like being clean cut and you put a book in front of you, then that's a black man reading. If you're somebody like me, I'm in a Slick Rick t-shirt right now, and you want to sit down and read Zora Neale Hurston, that's what a black man reading looks like. It doesn't have to look like what anyone tells you. And so I just started that community. And, at first it's just me sitting on the porch, taking a picture of the book, talking about how it makes me feel. And then people started kind of reaching out to collab. And one thing kind of led to another. And here we are where we are today.
Yeah, it's so interesting as a creator. Sometimes you have to create different spaces because as
Yep.
a human, people can see that, okay, you have a bunch of dynamics to yourself, right? You can do this, you like music. Like if you're talking to anybody, you might have 30, 40, 50 different conversations. But as a
Hmm.
creator, it's sometimes you have to create, all right, well, now I'm doing this and it's over here and it's to this own community where the algorithm will just see that versus,
Yep.
all that. So it's interesting that you had this hip hop, you had books and you're like, all right, some people think this is homework because I'm studying for this or doing that, but this is all of me, right? It's not just it's just interesting that sometimes we have to do that as creators.
Yeah, yeah. That's why like my content, I don't see any content that looks like mine. Like when I do my reels, I'm making the rap music videos that I loved.
See?
You know what I mean? I'm walking through the store, I'm trying to recreate that feeling, and that's how books have always made me feel. Just like that's how lyrics have always made me feel. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to create that and I'm trying to reach out to that. And I'm not one of those folks. I take that whole, if there's something you want to see in the world, you need to build it. I take that very seriously. It's a waste of my time to get on the internet and be like, why aren't there any black men reading
Nice.
when I'm a black man reading? You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
know they're out there. And so let me go put up my beacon. So let me shoot my flare so that they can come find me. And look, here we are. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Well said. And then in that, like in your opinion, how do books influence culture?
Yeah. I mean, books have always influenced culture. That's why they're banning them now. That's why they were burning them in the past. Books are how you record culture, and it's how you push it forward. It can both create empathy, but it can also create violence. It can organize and it can disorganize. You know what I mean? They're limitless. The written word and language is literally one of the first precursors that separates us from beasts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's one of the most important things ever. And I think the way that the arts have been defunded for as long as I've been alive, like I don't want to act like this is just a new, the arts have always been defunded. You know what I mean? They've always been struggling for funding. They've always been asking for help. Um, in all genres, in fiction, nonfiction, poetry, they've always been asking for help all of my life. And so I think that is a indicator of how important it is that people control the narrative. I think Imani Perry says a nation keeps its shape by controlling the story it tells about itself. You know what I mean? And so I think that, yes, books and literature are extremely influential, not only on popular culture, because right now, you know, all the movies come from books as it has always been.
Very
And
true.
so they have an influence on popular culture, but they also have an influence on intellectual culture, political culture. I mean, everything. Books have power. And it's important to protect and try to cultivate that power and that direction.
If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you head over to www.bookupapp.com to download our app so you can connect with your favorite bookish content creators, start conversations, and start your own book club.